Okay, folks, we're going to start reassembling everything to the head. Now, just a few torque specs coming out of the book. Some of these I really think are a little high, especially the ones for like the unions that, these pieces here, where they tell you to torque them down to 15 foot-pounds. That's a lot of torque on one of these bolts, especially into aluminum. They've got it 20 Newton meters. The manifolds, in some ways, 18 foot-pounds. It sounds about right for the intake. The exhaust, I'm thinking it should be a little tighter, but that's what we're gonna do. Now the injectors, 52 foot-pounds. Yes, actually, folks, we're gonna try and do this all in Newton meters because I do have a torque wrench that does do Newton meters, so we're gonna be trying that out. So, oil switch. Now, you're going to see in a minute here why we're not going to be using that torque specification, because that does not apply to what we're doing here. We have a T-fitting for the oil switch, so folks, that's why I'm not going to be torquing that down to the 7.5 foot-pounds or 10 Newton meters. So, there we go. I'm going to flip the head around here for a second. And we're going to talk about a few things on this end of the head. I've already got this one installed. Like I said, I've got a T-fitting here so that we can hook up an oil pressure gauge. And folks, I'm just gonna, it's weird, but it works. This is what M10 thread. This is 1/8 inch MPT. For some weird reason, it works. I'm not gonna doubt it, folks. So, and I'm just gonna put liquid Teflon on it, and we're gonna call it good with liquid Teflon. I could RTV it. Yeah, I could RTV it, but I'm not too, absolutely worried. Where's that 9/16? There we go. Go the right direction. Now I'm just going to get it snug in there. Yeah. And if I need to, I'll tighten it up later. Okay? And realistically, once the liquid Teflon dries, it's never going to want to come out anyway, so there's that. Now, in the kit, it comes with the copper crush washers for your thermostat sensors, your thermostatic sensors. I chose not to use them I'm using the liquid Teflon, and I'll tell you if I've got any problems with it later on. It's up to you. Crush wash or Teflon, or both, you know, it's up to you. Now, as we all know, this is a ported head. I ported it. You know, I polished these ports, and they should be taped off. Now, the studs go onto where the exhaust manifold goes on, not in the intake holes. Okay, there's 2 here for intake, 2 here for intake, and 2 here for intake. The rest are for the exhaust manifold. And that's where, you know, the exhaust manifold gaskets go on. But let's later on. Let's flip the head back around, because we're going to be working on the front of the head. Okay. I picked up some of this Hylamar stuff. It works really well. Okay. Oh, there we go, dropping the freaking gasket. Good thing I cleaned the floor today. And now, I'm using new bolts here also, folks. Because I looked at the old ones and I'm like, they're just standard hex bolts. At least in my case. So got this at an auction for 30 bucks. So, you know, going to auctions, you know, you can pick up some cool stuff at them pretty darn cheap. So, now where's our sheet? The union's 20 Newton meters. Well, I got this thing set for 20 Newton meters. Let's... yeah. We're going to have to back it down because... that's 8. Okay. With this extension, we're gonna go to 12. Okay. So now, glow plugs. I hope you either got new glow plugs, or if you're gonna reuse them, clean them up. Yes, these are the glow plugs out of the old head. So, you know, like I said, these ones only have about maybe 200 miles on them. So, clean them up. Now, these go in, and I was not able to find a torque specification in the book, but Champion says run them in and then give them a 1/16 of a turn. A 1/16. Not an eighth, not a quarter, not a half. A 1/16 of a turn. So, what I did is I took a 3/8 drive socket, put on the adapter, got a 1/4 inch drive ratchet, small ratchet, make sure they're all tight, and we're gonna, yep, that's about a 1/16 of a turn. Let me see if I can get you in here. Yeah, that's about a 1/16 of a turn. Yep. And they're all tight, you know. They're tight, folks, so. Make sure you clean inside your injector ports. And my hands are sticky from the Alamar. Now, all I did, folks, to clean up these was I took them, I put them on a wire wheel, and I cleaned off all the gunk on them. So, look at all that just from doing that little bit. Now, injector heat shields. There's two sides of them. Okay. We're going to clean them up. Make sure that there's nothing in there. We're also going to clean up the injector bores. Oh. Now, that's the side that should be facing towards the head, towards your combustion chamber. That is the side that goes against your injector. Okay. Now I hope you marked or at least laid out your injectors, if you're reusing them, in order. So put it in there. Okay. And no. Okay. Like I said, clean up. And this one has garbage in the bore. It's imperative that you get all the trash out of the injector bores, okay? Because if not, they're not going to seal properly. Now I remember what I wanted to do. Someone told me to take machine oil to the threads, so that you achieve proper torque specifications. So, okay, a little bit of machine oil. Little bit of machine oil. Now, the whole big reason why you need to get these injectors torqued down to proper specifications is so that you can actually get the crush washer, which, aka your injector heat shield, to crush and seal the injector to the head. So, now the secret to cleaning these heads is Q-tips. Lots and lots of Q-tips. Acetone, brake clean, you know, shop brags, whatever. That is what gets these heads clean. After you've done all your machine work, if you've got two spots where you can do this, where one you're machining it out, and then another spot where you can assemble it, that would actually be the best situation, so you don't get cross-contamination. So, okay. Adapt it. Okay. Set it for 70. $70 Newton meters. Okay. $70.3. Okay. $70 on the nose. $70.4. $71. Yeah, they will tire you out a little, so you gotta have a little bit of muscle, a little bit of this. So, and I'm doing it with a 3/8 drive, so Now, the injectors are all happy. Shut that off for now. Ugh. Okay, the grounding strap. Now, make darn sure that now if if you've hammered this out, you know, to flatten it out, it's gonna stretch these holes out further. So if you notice, I kind of just hogged out the hole. So now let's see if it's gonna fit, because if not, I'm gonna have to machine it right here on camera to fit. Okay, we're gonna get this one on first. Now, remember folks, this one down here at the end, that is actually where you hook your glow plug controller into. You know, so your glow plug relay goes in there. Now, these do not have a torque spec. I was not even able to find a, you know, screw it on and then tighten it, you know, quarter turn, eighth turn, 16th. I'm just going to tell you flat out, folks, do not, and I repeat, do not just go and grab the biggest wrench you can and tighten it down. We're going to do it with this. And it's going to make it happy. Actually, folks, I'm going to tell you flat out, get it only as tight as you can with a nut driver. With a handheld nut driver. Not an electric. Not some machine. By hand. And like I said, do not go super stupid with it. It, you know. I have had one of these studs break on me. And I've had to pull everything back apart just to get to that one glow plug. So, take it from experience, folks. Now, we're going to run the lines for the injectors. So, and you really do want to leave yourself a little bit of loop. So, beautiful. And in some ways, folks, this stuff isn't that expensive. What did I pay? For a little over 8 feet of it, I paid $17. So, hey. There. And save yourself enough to run back to the pump. So, we've got all this situated. So we're going to flip it around and we're going to start playing with the gaskets. Look at them beautiful ports. Now, the way it looks, the exhaust manifold actually has to go on first. So, we're going to put the exhaust manifold on first. But, as before, there we go. All this junk out of the way. We're going to use copper spray gasket. Make sure this never leaks. No, it's your preference. Folks, I'm doing this to please myself. You don't have to put sealant on these, you know. Now, these gaskets, even though they look directional, they're not. So, there we go. We got the gaskets on. Now we're going to slide our head closer to the edge. And we're going to lube up these with some anti-seize. High temp copper. Now, we're not going to use them on the intake, just the exhaust, and Just a dab. Just a dab will do you. Yeah. Spread that. Yeah. And the whole reason why you do not want to use copper anti-seize inside of where you're going to have aluminum is that you can end up with what they call galvanic corrosion. Galvanic corrosion happens between the heat and the copper, and it's just not a pretty sight. Okay. So, slide our bloody, beautiful exhaust manifold on. Tip the head up. Start putting the washers back on. And oh folks, I was able to save all the nuts. So now, is it recommended that you reuse the nuts? Not so much. It's kind of a thing where you really shouldn't reuse the nuts, but I'm feeling quite optimistic that we might have some mods coming down the line. So that's another reason why we're putting the anti-seize on, folks, is because we may have mods coming down the line. So just a little hint to subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And put it down in the comments whether or not you folks want to see the re-ring job, because if nobody's gonna watch it, I'm not gonna do it, on camera, because then we can get this on the road actually a lot faster. So, and I mean literally on the road a lot faster. So now, if you're wondering how I got this exhaust manifold to look this good, pressure washer, folks. Pressure washer. So, and I'm just tightening this up, folks, so, and then we'll come back and Sorry I'm not being able to get you in shot more, but okay. Now, another thing I did not find is a torque sequence. So, what I'm going to do is call upon the prevailing winds of knowledge, and the prevailing winds of knowledge say just torque the bloody thing on. So, let's see. Manifolds, 25 Newton meters. Woo! Whoop. $25. Okay. What do we got there? 22.8. Okay, we'll go all the way. Okay, 25.2. Now we're gonna pull the head up. $24.9. $25 on, dead on. $25.2. Now we're gonna come back to the top. I'm just doing it in a zigzag pattern. This one, and then the bottom here, top here, bottom here. Then I'm gonna come up here and do the same. 25.9. Oh, yeah, I keep forgetting how heavy this bloody thing gets. $25 on. $26. Well, $24.9. All right. Now, the manifold has been torqued to the head. So, oh boy, fun. Now we get the Hylamar back out. And I am going to get the machine oil out and machine oil these threads. So, you know what, we're going to flip the box over and we're going to just do it right on the box. over. This is what I should have done to that one gasket. So, but now, like I said, do not use this inside. And like I said, all I'm going to do is I'm going to put some machine oil on it, on these threads. Now, typically, when manufacturers give you torque specifications, it's a dry torque, but these manifolds need to be torqued on, so just a little bit of elbow grease, folks, goes a long way. Okay, where'd that socket go? And where'd that extension go? Like I said, hex 6 mil hex for these bolts. If I didn't say it already. Now don't get all these torqued down tight until you get them all in. Alrighty. Now we're going to get the torque wrench. Turn it back on. 25 Newton meters. 24/7. 25/7. 25/2. Let's try that again. 25 dead. $25. Now, you need to go slow when you torque stuff, or else you will not get a proper torque spec. Now, there is a bolt that goes right there, and thankfully it does match up. So, and since this is steel, I am going to coat it with anti-seize. And not everything gets anti-seize. I know a person that puts anti-seize on everything, then wonders why nothing stays together. What size is that? 12. 13 maybe? Okay, and we're going to just torque that down to the same torque spec as the manifolds. So, .24/6, we're going to go again with that. 24/5. Alright. Well, let me turn this beast around, show you what it's going to look like when it's all complete. I'll even chop the tripod a little. So, down in there, you can see the high Lamar is already starting to set up, and the copper forming gasket is already sealing. Now, I'm going to leave this gasket alone. I'm going to leave this gasket alone until I actually get to putting the head back together. So, thanks for watching this part, and like I said, if you folks want to watch a re-ring video, I'll do it, but like I said, it's going to take some time to do, so if you don't want to see it and you want to just see the car on the road, you know, tell me. Which one would you rather see? Would you rather see the car on the road sooner, or would you rather see a re-ring video? I mean, I literally just got the rings, bearings, and bushings in a couple hours ago, so thanks for watching, and hopefully you liked it, and we'll see you on the next one.